So today I'm going to drop the oil out of the sump, take the oil pan off because it's leaking. Yeah, there's a couple of small leaks coming out of it, I suspect. I'm going to replace the gasket, change the oil, and yeah, that'll be another job done, which I've been meaning to do sometime. The car's done probably only about 1,800 kilometres since that oil change, so it's not too bad. Oh man, she's on tight. Here we go. Yeah, right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take these support brackets off, which sort of connect the gearbox to the engine. And once we get those off, then we can take these sump bolts off. Oh, nice. Okay, these bolts are loose. Yeah, it's loose. What the other side's like. This car's had a new clutch too. It was replaced before, well, for the previous owners anyway. Okay, guys. Well, I managed to get the pan off. She's a bit bloody messy under here. Look at that on the oil pump strainer. There's a bit of goop on there. Here's the old remnants of the old gasket. A whole lot of silicone and crap up there. Bottom of the crank. There's a bit of play there. And that bearing cap. There's a bit of play there. And there's play in that one too. There's play in all of the bearing caps. Does that mean that should I be trying to torque these down a bit? I wonder if the bearings are worn. I'm wondering if it needs new bearings. I mean, this car hardly does any, it doesn't do a lot of driving. It's got good compression. I wonder if this has ever been rebuilt. Oh, anyway. There's a whole lot of silicone and crap down here. We've got to clean all this up. This is quite messy. Let's have a look at the pan. Oh, well, this is the inside of the pan. It's not too bad. There's not really there's no metal. I said before that there's some goop on the oil strainer. That's actually silicone. So thank goodness for the oil strainer. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see how much sludge is in this thing. Oh, nice. And just finished cleaning out this pan. It's probably the best I'm going to get it. Wire wheeled it, sanded it, and lots of brake clean. This is obviously the reservoir here to make sure that you've always got oil pressure if you're going around corners. I can't get into here obviously because this is all sort of spot welded down. But yeah, it's as clean as I'm going to get it. We're under the car here. After spraying parts cleaner in my eye, I had to sort that out. But anyway, right, we're under here, and yes, these are the cork ends which we need to get out. There's this one. Let's see if we can. Alright, so these are the cork ends, or the cork gaskets that come off the end. And they're still a little bit pliable. So they still had a little bit of life in them probably, but I'm going to attach the gasket under here so I can get the cork in and get it all siliconed in and sealed and everything. We'll put a tiny little smear of silicone on this outside edge, so then I know it's all in and it's all secure, and then I can basically just pop the pan on. Yeah, so that's pretty clean under here now. Right, so you just need a very, very thin layer of silicone just to stick it down on, so we'll get this finished. Alright, I got updates. My advice to you is do not take the sump off unless you're going to remove the engine, because it's really hard to get in. The hardest part is getting those cork gaskets in on the ends, so trying to make the bloody things stay. I ended up having to silicone. I spent hours on it, but you know, they'd fall off when I put them on, and applied the pan, and I just ended up sticking them with silicone to the pan, and then the front one I couldn't get to stay on, so I ended up having to silicone it to the actual recess where it sits on the actual block. And then getting the pan on, of course, you know, having to slot those cork pieces into where they need to go. Yeah, I had to force it in with a jack, but it's all in now. So just going to go around and screw all these in, or bolt the pan in, and then hopefully I'm pretty confident that those cork pieces are in the right places now. But man, I'm never doing this again. I probably could have gotten away with just leaving it and just having a little leak. But it was good to get all that sludge, you know, not a huge amount of sludge, but there was sludge in the bottom, so, but yeah. Right, it's full of oil, so clear and clean, you can just make out, it's just on the full mark. Right, we'll start this car up, and hopefully there are no leaks. I'm really hoping that those gaskets are holding, and they're in the right place, particularly over the ends of the sump. Well guys, it's about 2 weeks later, and I've got the car back up on jack stands. Basically, I put the sump back on with the new gasket, and it leaked. It leaked from the front of the sump. the problem is that the front cork seal didn't seat. Now what I didn't realise was I just assumed that the gasket kit that was sent to me was right for this vehicle. I got in touch with a contact, asked about these cork gaskets, and apparently the different blocks of these engines, so the different sized blocks of these engines, have different cork gaskets or different sizes that fit into the recesses, so they're slightly different. So yeah, it was a bit of a pain, but I had to basically take the sump off again, and I've given it a thorough clean, got all the gasket material off, got all the silicone off. What I've also found is the gasket is not square, it's slightly warped. It's probably these, I think the ends are slightly warped, because I had to basically force it in place with a trolley jack, and it should just slip on. So I've cleaned it all up, and what I need to do now is just go around gently and try and tap this square or as level as much as I can, just with a little bit of wood, just with a bit of wood and a hammer. I'll see if I can do that. I ended up ordering another gasket kit for a 1725cc engine. Got this from the UK. It's a multi-gasket kit. Some of the gaskets won't fit this car, but yeah, there's lots of different gaskets in there, and these are the cork ends that came with it. They're slightly shorter than the other gaskets I had, but I've trial fitted them and they fit into the recesses over those crank bearing ends. They just press in. They're a little bit short on each end, but I guess that's to allow for the paper gasket. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly clean up underneath on the block, get that nice and clean. I'll stick this to the block with some silicone, and then I'm just going to pop these into the recesses and pop a bit of silicone on each end so that it glues into the paper gasket ends. And then I'm just going to apply, just fit the sump as is. I'm not going to put any silicone or anything on it. Okay guys, well, I've fitted the gasket, and those cork ends there, where are they? Right there. So that is just 300% better than the last ones. The other ones were too wide and it just wouldn't fit in. I mean, I could, if I had known, I would have trimmed those last corks and to fit, but I didn't know. I just thought they were I thought that was the way it went. And there's the rear, so that's fitting a lot better. And that's the other side. So yeah, hopefully, I mean, this has to hold. If it doesn't, I don't know what to do next. But anyway, we'll get the pan on. I've dry fitted the pan and it seems to go on a lot flusher, so I'll get the pan on and I'll bring you back afterwards. Okay guys, well, we got the pan on. It went on so much better this time. The back cork is in. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, just that was so much easier. So yeah, all we need to do now is go around and torque down these bolts, try and even out the torque pattern, but we'll go around and tighten all this up. I'm pretty confident this is on and it's not going to leak. So I'll go and do that, and then we'll top it up with oil. I might let it sit overnight, start her up in the morning, and keep our fingers and toes crossed that it doesn't leak. Oil's a bit dirty. It was cycled through the engine. We'll run it for a while and change it again. I think it's pretty cheap oil. What do you think? Is it going to leak this time? I hope not. Oh yeah. Extra safety measure, just in case the engine started without an oil pan on. First time. Right, we'll just let it run for a minute and then we'll have a look underneath. Oh yeah, I need to fill up that exhaust clean. Just a bit of burn off from the parts cleaner. Nothing dripping down there. Got a look under the I've just checked the seals and doesn't appear to be leaking. Well, I think we're going to call this job done and we'll call that a tentative success. I need to get the car really hot, take it out for a good run, which I'm not going to do today, and then go around and retorque those sump bolts, but there is no oil leaking. Alright guys, well I'm hoping that this video might help somebody out there who needs to change a oil sump gasket, particularly one with cork ends on it. It's a little bit tricky, but we got there in the end. Got a bit of sludge built up out of that pan, so it was well worth the job, and it's also tidied up around the block there as well. It's looking a lot cleaner. Okay guys, well I'll leave the video here. We'll see you in the next one.